everyone, welcome back to the brilliant world of chess. In this video, I'll be going through the Tata Steel Blitz chess tournament, which is happening in India, and I'll be covering to round 7 to 9. So, 7, 8, 9, I'll be covering the most important, entertaining game from each round. Like in round 7, it's Weasley versus Aravind, round 8, Weasley versus Hans, and right now, round 9, the most interesting game probably, Vidit versus Arjun. So, without further ado, I think round 10 is today, right? Yeah. And it goes on. So let's start with round number 7. Weasley with the white pieces and Arjun with the black pieces. So there's a Sicilian defense on the board. And knight goes to f3, d6. I like to go knight c6 first, but it's fine. d4. So usually with d4, you always want to do that early in the Sicilian. After takes, take, black must take. Knight f6, usually like to go knight c3 and a knight c6 is played. So after knight to c6, the bishop goes to c4. Pawn to e6 is the Taimanov variation. We want to go e6 and d5. So after that, Weasley just developing bishop e3. Arvind develops back bishop e7. I like doing a fianchetto here, but usually that results in attacking, but I can deal with. Queen e2. So now we have opposite side castling. Whenever that happens, you must attack. Whoever attacks first will win. So as you can see, a6, bishop goes back before going b5. Usually b5 happens then. Queen c7, and now g4. Now Weasley is already attacking g4, h4, f4 is going to happen. And after that, the knight takes on d4, rook takes d4, and then Arvind makes a bit of a mistake, pawn to e5. This is a mistake because it allows rook c4. Attacking the queen has to go back, and now g5. Now Weasley is kind of attacking, the knight has to go back to d7. I'd like to go h4 here, but rook g1 is played. Okay, that's fine. And then b5. Attacking the rook goes to g4, b4. And then you can't go a5 because if a5, then you're going to take on b5. So now knight goes to c5. And you think you can take, but your rook's going to get trapped. So that's kind of a trap. The bishop goes to d5, not wanting to be taken, and attacking the rook. Rook slides to b8. Queen h5 is a mistake because he should have went h4 like I was saying, or f4, but okay. Queen h5 is a mistake because it allows knight go back to e6. But he plays bishop e6, that's also fine. Bishop e6, and a rook to g3 was played. After rook g3, g6 is played. Queen goes to h6. g6 was not a good move because it allows the queen to get in. And Arvind made a mistake, queen to d7. Queen d7 is a mistake because of the crazy move Weasley finds. Pawn to f4. Pawn to f4. If you take, then your bishop's gonna get in. And you're gonna go e5 and take there. And then look at this. You might almost be unstoppable. Arvind counters attack with f5. That's not a good move because now rook h3 is played, threatening mate in 1. Rook goes to f7 to defend, and then now he takes on f5. Weasley strikes. The bishop takes on d5. That's a mistake because of the move f takes g6. After f takes g6, the rook has to go to g7. And this is just bad. Now you take here. Bishop d8 doesn't do anything because you take on h7. Now Weasley just completely bad, as you can see in the evaluation bar. And the king goes to h8, f5, and yeah. After a5, in this position, Arvind was not only bad in the position but was also low on time. As soon as he played a5, he ran out of time, and Weasley beat Arvind
So,
Chittambaran
Wesley won.
in a really winning position. He was gonna get mate somewhere. He was attacking like crazy, and so yeah, that was the first game between Weasley and Arvind. So that was a really entertaining game. So now let's go to the next game. Weasley saw again with the white pieces in round number 8. This time versus Hans Niemann, who is a really strong player. So yeah, let's get into it. As Weasley's with the white pieces and Hans is playing with black. So d4, d5, c4, c6. This is the Slav defense. They play very standard style knight f6, knight c, knight f3, knight f6, knight c3. This is usually all normal. Usually it is a bishop f5 version which results in losing a pawn, your queen b3, but also this is the semi-Slav defense, pawn to e6, not letting the bishop go out. So now pawn to e3 is played. I usually like to develop the bishop first, but okay, knight bd7, trying to maybe go c5 also can happen later. Queen c2, b6, he's going to put his bishop on b7, and that's exactly what happens. They just developing castles, and Hans takes, and then Weasley takes back in pawn to a6, trying to go b5. You can go b5 straight away, but like, this is going to open. Okay, no, actually you can. I don't know why I didn't do that. Maybe bishop e2 will just, yeah, I don't know. It just does nothing. a6 is played though. a4, and then b5 still happens by Hans. Bishop goes to d3. Bishop e7, they're just developing. And after bishop to e7, rook d1, rook c8, that's what happens. Then you bring in your rooks. But then Weasley goes for knight e4. Knight e4, targeting the center. Hans just takes, bishop takes back, and it brings this knight to f6. That's the good thing about Hans. He knows how to play. Bishop d3, and he brings his queen out to b6. Queen b6 does allow bishop d2, but Weasley takes. C takes back best. That's so now Hans. It doesn't seem, but I think Hans would be better here. Queen d2 is a mistake also because you castle and you're gonna bring this rook in, and you have to like lose a tempo by moving your queen again. Queen e2 is played, and then Hans brings his knight out to d5. Bishop d2 developing now by Weasley, and then knight to b4 is played. After the knight goes to b4, trying to get the bishop. So Weasley takes. This allows bishop takes back and knight e5. Knight e5 after rook c7 maybe. So yeah, rook c7 and then you maybe try to go that double. But now queen to h5 is played. Queen h5, g6, queen h6. Bishop goes back to f8 by Weasley, targeting the queen. The queen has to go to f4. And then technically they play a few moves until
What?
Hans makes one of the biggest blunders of his life. Rook takes c1, just completely forgetting that you're made in one. And at the same time, as soon as Hans realizes it, he resigns the game. And it was a drawn position. Like, I mean, I was really shocked by this. It was completely fine, and then you just have to make that rook take c1 blunder. But that was a bit unlucky by Hans. I mean, like, it happens sometimes, and like, yeah. So, that was a bit unlucky by Hans, but it's okay. Rook takes c1 was a big blunder. You might think that you would start laughing at him for that, but okay, it's fine. So,
Wesley won
now
again.
let's look at Vidit versus Arjun, another interesting game. As Vidit's with the white pieces and Arjun's with the black pieces. So we have a really King's Indian. This is usually what everything that happens in the King's Indian. This exact setup by Arjun is perfect, and this is exactly what I do with Vidit. And yeah, Bishop e2, e5 straight away. I like to probably like go bishop g5 and g4 knight d7 bd7 and not c5. But okay, e5 is also a way. I like to go d5 to get space, which is one of the best moves. But castles by Vidit and an h6 by Arjun. In case you try to attack, then you can just go g5. So rook to e1 by Vidit, a5 trying to get some queenside space by Arjun, h3 not allowing bishop g4. And then this Arjun decides it's time to take in the center. Knight takes back. Not you don't want queen takes back because if queen takes back, you just go knight a6 and c5 and a knight c7 and you just better. So knight takes, rook e8, targeting this pawn. Bishop d3. I think I'd like f3, but okay. Then let me see. Yeah, f3 actually should be the best move. Yeah, or even bishop f1, but okay. And a knight d6. Arjun's developing. I'll insist to go to d7, but knight c6 is also fine. Knight d to b5 is played by Vidit. Bishop d7. They just develop their pieces. And then Arjun plays knight b4. Knight b4 is not a bad move, but bishop b1, I don't know why. Like really? Okay, he wants to take this pawn. Okay, that makes sense. And after bishop b1, Arjun does make a mistake. G5. G5 is a mistake because of f4. F4. But then f3 is played by Vidit. This is a miss. It's still drawn, but f4 would have gotten a really good advantage. Now knight h5 played by Arjun, trying to get the knight into f4. So takes, you get the bishop, right? Yeah, that's good. So now knight to d4 is played by Vidit. This is a mistake because it allows not bishop e5, what he played, but it allows a tricky move to see knight. It allows c5 and knight c6. This just does nothing. It just brings the knight for no reason. Bishop e5 played, queen to d2, developing the queen. And now after that, c6, well, which was a bit of a mistake. He wanted to go d5, but it allows a3, exactly what it does. Good stuff. And now the knight has to go back to a6. The best move, bishop c2, maybe trying to get your bishop back in the game. After bishop c2, the queen goes to f6. Knight ce2 played, and a knight c5. Another mistake by Arjun, because not b4, it allows h4. H4 would have been really a really good breakthrough because you can't go there because yeah, you can't go there. And then after b4, knight e6, the best move by Arjun. And now after takes, knight f4. Arjun trying to get some space, breaking the position, and rook ab1, and knight to d takes d4. Knight takes d4 back and c5. Now Arjun is just technically slowly, just watch how he eats with it alive. Knight b5, bishop takes b5, c takes b5. This is a mistake because of bishop c3, just completely losing an exchange. When it does decide to play on a bit, but another mistake, just losing a piece. D5, D4 was a mistake because you think it's, but you have queen c3. He just probably didn't see that because he had like 40 seconds in. But Winner did have 20. D4, trying to block the queen, no, because bishop b4 is played. D3, your pawn's gonna advance. Rook c2, look at that by Arjun, sacrificing the rook. The thing is, look, if you take knight to e2, you're gonna win the bishop now. King goes to h1 now suddenly. And now he takes the bishop, attacking the rook. The rook can't move there. So, well, it goes there. You promote. Rook takes, knight takes. And then, like Arjun just being a full rook up, he's advancing. Now he can beat this position. He gives his knight up. But now, as you can see, he is going to win the pawn. You'll see now. With the rook, and this pawn's gonna go, it's gonna promote. This bishop's doing nothing. The rook's gonna cook. And yeah, if the bishop ever leaves, you can even just come take this pawn. So in this position, with 3 seconds and Arjun having 7, Vidit Gujarati, Santosh Gujarati, resigns to Arjun Arigasi. Arjun is cooking in this tour. I think he's second place now. So that was a good performance by him, a good win, a pretty really interesting game by
So
Arjun
Arjun
and Vidit.
won.
So yeah, that was it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe this video. And yeah, so those were the 3 games. Exceptional performances by all these players. And yeah, hope you liked it. Goodbye.